Hello lovelies, welcome back. My name is Tehja and today we will be making our own fishnet heels. This is another DIY that we're doing for 14 days of the Teezy Valentine. If you did not know, today is episode 8 or day 8 of 14 days of the Teezy Valentine, and this is what we're doing. So this is what you'll need. Any shoe, but especially a clear vinyl shoe is the best. Fishnet tights. But I chose like the smaller diamonds because they're shoes and they're easier to work with. Hot glue gun. I'm sorry that mine is a little dirty. You know, it's been through some stuff. Hot glue sticks, of course. And scissors. Okay, so my hot glue gun is plugged in and I am waiting for it to heat up and melt the glue and all of that stuff. So we're just going to put that to the side and we're going to take our shoes. I got these shoes from Simi Shoes. I got these shoes from Simi Shoes. I love their shoes. I never had a problem with quality with their shoes, so I'm going to use them today. I prefer the clear vinyl shoes because, you know, it kind of hides. You don't have to see the, shoe underneath pretty much, and it gives a foundation instead of like completely like taking out all of this and just leaving the bottom of the shoe. Like, it just gives a foundation for the shoe. Anyway, I'm gonna take the fishnets. I specifically chose like the small fishnets because they're just way easier to work with. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the fishnets and pretty much put the shoes through the fishnets, kind of like the same way like people make like the thigh-high boots. We're gonna use the same method. So I'm gonna try to open kind of the fishnets up a little bit, just putting my hands through them and kind of get them untangled. And I'm gonna make it short, like kind of like how you put on stockings, you make them short and then you pull them on your leg. I'm going to do the same thing with the shoes. And I kind of made sure that the front fishnet goes on first so I can estimate where the heels should go. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but you just don't want to short your heel of the fishnet. So, boom. And also you already have your heel sticking out and it works. So what we're going to do is that we are going to fold this part back a little bit, kind of like that. Try to make it as neat as possible and just fold it back. Let's see. I thought I was going to fold it back, but it'll be like too much, I think, if you had all that to step on. So what we're going to do instead is that we are going to cut this part off because it's just way too much. But make sure you hold it like after you cut it, because you're pretty much cutting it open. So see now like it's open. Ta-da. So all right, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So this is like the first time I'm doing this, so it's gonna take some patience. So anyway, after we cut it open, we're just gonna move all this back, I think, and just put like a small thin line of kind of hot glue on the bottom of the heel. So we're just gonna put a small line of glue. Try and move as fast as possible because all this dries super duper quick. After you put the small line of glue, you're just going to pull everything over from the bottom and then have the rest follow like that. Okay, and we're just going to press all around. Some of it dried already because it wants to be rude. The hot glue gun or the hot glue dries before you get all the way around. Just glue right on top. Yeah, so I'm just kind of trial and erroring it. Now, it's not the cleanest way to do it, but I was totally lazy, and plus no one's going to see like the bottom of your shoe like that. So, you know, as long as it's secure, then that's like pretty much the most important part. Okay, so after you let the glue dry for about 10 minutes just to make sure that everything is secure, what we're going to do now after this is attached we want to see how long we want our fishnet to be. I'm going to kind of make it really, really long and then try the shoe on. I think this is about 4 to 5 inches from the shoe. I'm going to cut. And then I'm going to try it on off camera just to see how it looks. So I tried the shoe on and it really looks nice. It pretty much goes to like my mid calf, but I do want it to be as close to the original as possible. So I am going to cut about 2 inches. 2 inches cut. So I did cut a little bit too much. I'm kind of bad about it, but the show must go on. But now that we figured out the length that we want to cut, we're just going to leave that for right now. Just going to cut right before the hot glue line, because you know you don't want to really walk on fishnet like that, even though you can. And just pretty much where you're gonna walk is where you want to cut. Okay. And now it's really starting to look like an actual shoe, which I'm really, really excited about. So I'm just gonna do this to the other shoe and I'll be right back. Okay, so we got both heels fishnet up. We're gonna move the shoes over to the side for a second and we're gonna grab our leftover stockings. And we're actually going to take the elastic from the stockings and use it for the hem of the shoes. So I'm going to cut at the side seam of the elastic first. And then I'm just going to cut around the bottom of the elastic. I'm trying to make sure I cut as close as possible without cutting the actual elastic itself. And you can always go back and like clean it up later. So this is what the shoe looks like. I know my stuff is all over the place, but this is what the shoe looks like on. It's really, really cute. So what we're gonna do is take the elastic band and we're just gonna wrap it kind of around where we want it to go. Since I'm gonna stretch the fishnet up like this, I'm going to measure where I want it to be, which is right here. Okay, and then from that measurement, so it'll be this much elastic. I'm just gonna overlap it in the back. So I'm just going to cut it and then I'm going to lay it like this, which is the front part, if you know what I mean. Like this is what it's going to be facing like outside. I'm going to fold it like this and then glue it right here. And I just wanted to overlap, like if you wanted to like sew it to make it look better or anything like that, you could, but for me I just want like a quick shoe, so I'm not really bugging over that. So I'm gonna flip it back over like this, and since this is gonna be the outside, this is gonna be what's showing on the outside, I'm gonna put it over my shoe. Oh, okay, there we go, like that, and put it over here. And pretty much drag everything upwards. And then I'm going to flip it over again, if that makes sense, and make sure that the scallops are facing down, because you want to flip it back up like this. Boom. So that's what we want it to look like with the scallops. So what we're going to do is, like, once we figure out where we want the elastic to go, yeah, I had to do it this way. I hope I'm explaining this right, but we're going to pull it down a little bit. Like about like a ½ inch, and make sure you pull the rest of the elastic up, and then be really careful with this part. You could probably take it off and do this part, but I just like to keep it on just so I know where everything's gonna lay. But please be very careful since it's hot glue, but if you're not using hot glue, then it should be fine. If just as long as it's not hot, then you should be fine. But what I'm gonna do is place glue on the edge of the elastic and then like fold the fishnet over it. And I'm gonna do it like piece by piece, just so that the hot glue doesn't dry super duper quick. And that is it. These are what the shoes look like. I am in love with them. They look way better in person, but they still look fabulous, and they look almost exactly like the originals, and I'm just really happy about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This concludes day 8 of 14 days of a Teezy Valentine. Please subscribe so you can see more videos, and also please love yourself, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah!